another part of the journey here where I'm going to share with you. We just blew a head gasket, at least we think that's what it is, in our truck.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are fine.
Hi, I'm still Greg.
And I'm still Shelly.
And so together,
we're still
Days Great Adventure. A bunch of you guys probably wondering, what the heck happened to those guys?
Yeah.
Well, we've had a full spring. So kind of took a required deviation from our normal routines and stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, we were kind of told by a bunch of people and family that we need to do an update, kind of let people know maybe a little bit of reasons why and what's going on. Had a lot of people praying for us, appreciate that. Anyway, update. Probably the last video we put out was one
from Mexico.
Well, it's from Mexico, but we put it out when we left Texas, heading to Arizona to meet up with Aaron and Tina
Jones. Yeah.
Jones, and put the solar on the trailer. So
yes.
But anyway, on our way to Mesa, Arizona, to meet up with them, we were about 50 miles out of Mesa, and all of a sudden, no hint, no nothing. Truck's just driving great. All of a sudden, just boom, gray smoke. Just so. Anyway, I got to down through the canyons to a place that was somewhat safe, and just coasting down in there, and got pulled over, and of course no cell signal, but that's the way it normally is. But I was able to text and got a text out to Aaron, and anyway, so and then some state troopers pulled up, Arizona's finest. They were great. Actually drove me up the hill to where we got cell signal.
And I didn't pull the camera out earlier. I should have. But right now Greg is with a state patrol. He took him to the top of a hill. We're down here in a holler. Down here in a gully that we have 1x worth of signal I have on my phone, and Greg had that on his phone. He can't make any phone calls. So State Patrol took him up to the top of the hill so he could call our insurance and our warranty company and see what we need to do to get the truck towed to Mesa. We're about 53 miles, I believe, from Mesa where we're headed. But it's just part of it. Part of the journey, and as hard as it is for me to videotape this, it's just part of it, and we show you the good and we show you the bad. So as you can see, our RV is sitting here on the side of the road. We did find a wide enough spot, that's why we're down in a gully, because up on top there wasn't a wide enough spot and we were right on the highway. So at least we have a little bit of shoulder here. We were able to put the jacks up and so we could get into the trailer and use into the fifth wheel and use the restroom. And so I will just have to let you know how all this turns out. I have no idea what's going to happen. I do know the Lord's in control, and it could have been much worse, and this is just part of full-time RV traveling, so we will let you know.
So we got a hold of Aaron.
Greg's back with Aaron.
Hello.
He's our knight in shining armor here.
Is it a shiny?
Okay.
He said, hey, no problem. Came out. We unhooked the truck, hooked his truck up to the fifth wheel.
Oh yeah, I probably don't want to stand there.
Get out of the way.
is unhooked. Aaron's our
Yeah,
backstop. You think so?
Oh yeah. You can't hear it.
No?
You hear the turbo whine spool up.
Yeah.
It's like a shaft or something. There you go.
So, Beauty's here all by herself. Beast is gonna go on the tow truck.
So he could pull it back to the campground because we were staying with them next to them to the solar. Finally, after 3.5, 4 hours, got a tow truck to show up because I kept telling them don't call us because we don't have cell, and then they would, of course, ignore that and try to call and we wouldn't answer and no show. So it was a fiasco that whole day. But Aaron, I just, if you're watching,
Yep.
what a good friend.
Yeah.
So stayed out there with us, took us on in, got us set up at the trailer. We got the truck towed into a mechanic and later had it towed to a diesel specialist here in town. And of course, with the pandemic going on, it's turned into quite an event trying to get parts and trying to get all the stuff done because we ended up having to completely put a new engine in, which is
Cha-ching!
yeah, well, yeah, real. I mean, but you know, on one side we went ahead and didn't just put a rebuilt stock in it. I just went ahead and said, screw it, let's just do the heavy duty rebuild. So it'll be designed for high performance, high horsepower engine. That ours is a tuned and deleted engine, so it'll be fine for that. It's going to be set up so for towing with all the performance type cam and pistons and all that stuff. It'll come with a warranty that's covered, that will cover even all that stuff. So, but anyway, it's been over 2 months they've had the truck because this has been one thing after another with this, trying to get parts and different things happening. So
they got it like the 3rd of March, and so
no,
March.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but supposedly
April. I'm sorry. Yeah, we came here March 30. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But
so
it's now June 3rd, and this is when we were supposed to leave.
Yes.
But they still need another 3 to 7 days because they've got it all running. But they're very thorough on it. They want to drive it for 500 miles and do a bunch of tests on it, make sure everything's good before we get it, and immediately take off back up to Washington. So,
which we appreciate.
Oh yeah.
But
it's 110
and
in
it
Mesa.
has been for 2 weeks here. We've been back for a week. In all of that, we had a grandbaby being born. He was due April 19th.
Well, the
17th.
whole idea was
24th.
We came here to Arizona.
Yes.
We're going to be here for 2 weeks and leave basically the Monday after Easter.
Yes.
And head, and so it was on the 13th of April, and head up to Washington so we can be there for the birth of our first grandson. We have 2 granddaughters. Right. And of course, then with the pandemic and all this stuff, that got put on hold and different things. We weren't supposed to be traveling if we didn't need to, so we were trying to hunker down, figure out what we need to do. Then the truck broke down, and then of course my son calls and says, "Hey, I don't even know." He was just, as a father would be, as I probably would be, just an emotional wreck, not knowing if he could even get in to be there for the birth of a son.
Yeah, the hospital was saying yes, visitors and support, and then they were saying no visitors.
Then
or
only
support.
the husband.
Yeah.
So he didn't know what to do with his daughter, our granddaughter Mia May. So we just said, you know what? And part of the blessing was we rented a car because Aaron and Tina had to take off. So our ride, basically, they took off. So he took me down and got a rental car, and so we got a rental car, and I didn't even pay attention when we rented it. We just used our Costco membership discount. Yeah. But we got it for like a month or whatever we did. What it had unlimited mileage. Didn't really think about it, but anyway, so
Yeah.
we
There never was a
basically-
plan to drive there.
No.
My mom even joked. She said, "Oh, good. So then you can drive to Washington." And I was like,
It's like, no, our truck's
Mom, are
broken
you-
down. We
Well,
gotta stay here.
no, even with the rental car.
Yeah, but I mean, we need to stay here. The truck's
Yeah.
being worked on.
But I said, "Mom, that's crazy. It's 1,400 miles. Why would we do that?" And
We're
then,
old folk. We can't do that.
and then we did
Got the
it.
call. Yeah, so we went from about 3:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, earlier that morning, it was great. One of the gals, the neighbors, Jan, just a wonderful lady. We said hi. We different times, but really hadn't taken time to really talk that much.
Yeah.
Until that morning, it just happened. She came over and we sat for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. I think we talked.
Yeah,
And
it
got
was
to know
great.
each other and stuff like that. And it's great. Okay, well, we'll get together, and was the plan. And her husband even came over when he took a break from work, and so we were kind of looking forward to getting together with him. And then my son calls a few hours later, and so then my wife and I decide, well, we can head up there. And so we had my son check with my daughter-in-law to make sure that she was okay with us coming up there with all this virus stuff.
Right.
And so we started packing an overnight bag,
Yeah,
just
we
in
thought.
case.
Pretty sure she'd
And
say yes, but we just
So
wanted to make
he
sure
called
this
back
is her
and said,
fault.
we'd love to have you. So we got things tied it up here, threw things, just shoved them in cubbies and turned things, got it all set up to where we can leave. Went over and I gave a key to Jan to the trailer and said, would you guys be willing to just every couple of days come check the fridge and make sure everything's okay? And
Because we knew they weren't leaving for
they
a
weren't leaving
while.
till
Yeah,
the end of May.
yeah.
And so she was great, said, yeah, I'd love to. So then we went over, threw the bags in the car, got the dog on the car. And at 6:45, we were on the road out front, driving towards Wenatchee. So that night,
Yep.
so I drove through the night. I pulled over a couple of times, slept for about an hour and a half total.
Yep.
And so it was 21 driving hours, and we got there in 24.
Yeah. That's
Totally
not easy
exhausted.
at this age.
Well, and that brings us into probably the major thing
Yeah.
that has happened. But but we got there in time. We had about a week because the baby was a little late.
Yep.
And then baby Jackson was born.
Beautiful baby Jackson.
Oh, he takes after me. I mean, the guy's a stud, good looking, handsome,
He's the sweetest.
But
And
anyway.
great birth. And Jake and Mariah had a great experience at the hospital, and
Yep.
we got to stay with Mia May at the house, and so it was good.
Yep, and then we ended up staying with him for
5 weeks.
longer. We were just going to be there for a couple weeks and
Yeah.
come back. But what ended up happening is I had been feeling really under the weather since Texas. And all I just attributed to was allergies, because Texas was in full bloom. It seemed like we were in allergy producing weather, because we're not used to that where we used to live. From about February on, in Texas there was juniper and cedar and all those trees yellow, every rig was yellow, and then all the flowers were going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful, but it's dying. Then I come over here to in Arizona, and all the wildflowers are going and all that stuff. So then we drove straight through Nevada and Idaho and Oregon, and then back into Washington. And our kids live in an area where basically they're surrounded by orchards, like cherry and apple and all that stuff, and they were in full bloom flower. And so I just thought, I was having trouble breathing. I couldn't take a deep breath, and so I just thought it was this with the allergies, because my sinuses were funny, so I was trying to take some medication for that. Family, one of the family members had an inhaler, so I tried to take that, and that didn't seem to help. So finally, Shelley and
Well, this
Mariah,
went on for a week or so, and finally Mariah and I were like, okay, either he got the virus, nobody was showing symptoms, he wasn't showing the normal symptoms, but we thought either he got the virus, but we need to see what's going on.
right?
So called the, the COVID number, and at the hospital, and she said, okay, she took some notes. She said he really needs to talk to his primary care. So,
Well, she called me.
oh, she did.
Yeah, I got some more information
Yeah.
and said, who do you want to talk to? Because, and I says, well, I want, talk to, my old primary. That's up where we used to live, not in Wenatchee, but up in Waterville. And I said, because, he knows me. If I'm going to do this over the phone, I want him to know, instead of somebody not knowing me or my history.
And he's been his primary for like 8 years.
Yeah.
So, and family friend, and knows.
But I
us.
couldn't even lay down, sleeping at night. I would lay down, and I could not. It felt like I was drowning. I could not sleep. So I would, and I couldn't even sit like normally on a couch with your back, even that much. So I'd have to sit at like the at the dining room table, upright, my elbows on the table, upright, and work and try to I could have a breath. And so I was getting maybe an hour a night sleep for weeks.
Yeah.
And so I was mentally, I wasn't there much.
Yeah.
So it was something serious. And so anyway, I got through, and then I talked to Derek, my doctor, and he said, you do not have allergies.
You told him all your symptoms.
I told him my symptoms, and he said, your feet are swollen too, aren't they? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I thought it was just sympathy pains, because at the time, my daughter, before she had the baby, her feet were all swollen up. So we were just joking that I was having all these sympathy pains. But so I had him on speakerphone, and he drops.
Yes. He tells Greg, I think you have congestive heart failure.
And I wasn't sure what it was, but I knew it was bad.
Well, Mariah and I were in the other room, and we could hear it. We both looked at each other, and I think we about had a heart attack, because we did not expect that.
I just called him and it was allergies and something like that. So anyway, he goes, but we need to get you tested and you need to get you checked out. So can you get up here as soon as possible this afternoon? It was like 10 o'clock. I said, sure. I said, so he was booked, so 2 o'clock was his first opening.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in town, took care of some stuff, and was there waiting at 2.
Yep.
He got me in, checked me all out, and ruled out the, I don't know if you want to call it more severe enlarged heart, congestive heart failure.
Well, there's 4 levels for people that don't know. We have gotten an education in this. We've never had any family
It's not 4
member.
levels, there's just a different type. This is AFib.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there is 4 levels of both. Of AFib,
Yeah.
there's 4 levels.
Yeah.
And of congestive heart failure, there's 4.
Yeah.
But congestive heart failure, what I was told is not corrective. There's nothing they can do to really correct it. They can manage it if you catch it early enough. If not, it basically you can only get a transplant. With what I have, is basically the top 2 chambers are just firing randomly and too fast, and so it's called
Arterial fibrillation,
Right.
AFib.
which
Basically.
there's a lot of people that have that, and but mine is severe enough to where it's actually weakened, because we found out later, having an echocardiogram and all that stuff, that it's weakened my heart's walls.
Mm-hmm.
So that's they got me into the the cardiologist and all that type of stuff. I didn't see the cardiologist, but I saw the nurse practitioner, or what do you call her? Barbara. Anyway, but she's she's been great. So is Derek. Basically, I'm in communication with them constant. I got her cell number. She gave me her cell number to call if I needed anything. Got their blessing to come down here to try to get the truck to get back. She just, I've got meds taking. They're trying to slow my heart rate down. That's another problem is with this AFib is your normal resting heart rate should be about 60.
Yeah.
Mine at the time was 117. So I've gotten it down now with medication and different things down to where it's in the 80s to 90.
Yeah.
It's still supposed to be 60 to 70, but we're working on it. My blood pressure's good. I've gotten where I can breathe now better. Because what happened is the heart fluttering like that, I guess, produces fluid, and I don't know how this excess fluid, but anyway, my whole body was filled with fluid. It was just huge. My abdomen was, I'm a big guy anyway, but it was full of fluid. It still is. And then my chest was the worst thing. It was filled with fluid, and of course my legs and feet. So still got fluid in my feet and in my abdomen and some in my chest. But I mean, we're working on that with the diuretics, all this medication. If you guys have questions on that, you can message me or something like that to go over it. But we're working on that, and I feel a lot better. I still have issue where if I try to do anything, I'm getting a little better in that too. But it used to, if I just, taking a shower, I wash my hair.
Yeah.
I have to stand there and hold on. So I'm trying to catch my breath. I felt like I just ran a 100-yard dash, and my heart rate's over 130. And it's still, but I recoup a lot quicker now, and it doesn't get up to 130. Maybe it's 110-ish. But still not what it's supposed to be. So
The best regimen right now is he has to be on these meds to get the heart back somewhat healthy, so they can do
we gotta get the fluid out of my body.
shock.
Yeah, and then so they'll go in and hopefully there's a treatment for that, as they do go in and actually electrocute me. And the old thing shot the hell out of you. But anyway, and
Try to regulate that.
and it
heart.
should reset the heart to where everything's been beating together in harmony, and that should take. And once in a while, that doesn't take. But that's why they're trying to get the heart walls back to where they should be. But if not, then they'll do that brazen, they call it, where they'll
Ablation.
Ablation. She has to fix how I don't know what it is.
It's okay.
But so they do that. So there's treatments. There's some stuff going on, and we'll have that probably, hopefully here this summer, later on, and we're heading back as soon as we get the truck, which could be as early as Friday
Of this week.
of this week. Is Wednesday. I should hear something from them today, kind of give us a little update. But if it's not going to, or something I had to take care of, or something came up, it could be Wednesday of next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, we will go. We got reservations, all that stuff up there. We'll be up there through the whole summer.
Yep.
So
In the Wenatchee area.
around
yeah.
family, friends, and that's our home is or was, but
Home base.
home base. There we go.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of an update on my health, and I appreciate everybody's prayers. It's been a real emotional. I told my wife, I said, I don't think I've ever been this emotional in my life. But where you sit there one moment, I'm holding my grandson, and then where you can have that joy, but then also the fear.
Yeah. Whew.
Anyway,
So along the way, as hard as all of this has been, there have been some real blessings, and we've seen the hand of God in so many situations, and we're just thankful for that. So that's what we focus on, and our hope is in Him, and we're thankful for that. And we are very excited to hopefully soon get back out there. And even when we're in North Central Washington, we want to do some day trips and get out and about.
yeah, want to do some day trips and show you guys where we're from.
Yeah,
It's
it's a beautiful area.
Beautiful area. Of course, the grandbabies. That's always good. We've had the blessings from the kids to share them with you. So when you do see them, you'll know that yes, they said we can put them on our YouTube. Just for our future views as well as theirs.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just really appreciate everyone that's reached out.
Yep. in our RV community and family, and whew. So we love you all, and we thank you for sticking with us, and but we are back.
Yep.
And we are ready to roll, so we're back in the game here.
Back in the game. As soon as we can get out of this heat, I'll be even happier.
Yeah.
Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through and